Good day viewers, welcome to another edition of the Daily Strange Stories. I'm John Brown. I trust you've navigated the start of the week with energy and optimism. Our lead story for today. CCTV exposes 3 hitmen who killed witness D. He was killed by people he knew and he talked to them seconds before his death. All Madlanga Commission witnesses are now in trouble and most of them have already been promised death. Last week on Friday night, a chilling scene unfolded that has left many questioning the safety of those who dare to speak out against hidden corruption. Marius van der Merwe, known to the world as Witness D during his testimony at the Madlanga Commission, pulled up to his home with his family in the car. As they waited for the gate to open, figures approached, and CCTV footage captured a moment that would prove devastating. The recordings show van der Merwe engaging in conversation with these individuals, people he appeared to recognize, just seconds before shots rang out. He reached for his own weapon in a desperate attempt to defend himself, but it was too late. This footage suggests that his killers were not strangers, but possibly acquaintances from his past, turning a routine evening into a targeted execution. Now, this event has cast a long shadow over everyone connected to the Madlanga Commission, with whispers spreading that all witnesses are in grave danger, and many have already received direct promises of death from unknown sources. Meanwhile, South African Police Service, SAPS, National Commissioner General Fannie Masemola confirmed that police found one of the vehicles used during the murder of witness D. Marius van der Merwe. The vehicle was found abandoned in Alexandra Township, north of Johannesburg. Masemola said 2 cars were used during the shooting, a sedan and a bakkie. He added that police are still looking for the other vehicle as they believe that the bakkie that was abandoned in Alexandra Township is the right one. Earlier, Masemola had revealed that 3 persons of interest have been identified and 1 has been taken in for questioning following Friday's assassination of van der Merwe, who was only identified as Witness D at the Madlanga Commission. Addressing the media following a walkabout in Salisbury on Monday, National Police Commissioner General Fannie Masemola said the investigating team is confident that there will soon be a breakthrough in the case.
We came here to the house. We met with the investigation team earlier on the murder case of Marius van der Merwe. Ourselves, together with the IPID, has been investigating a murder case of Duduza, where an African male's body was found dumped in a dam in 2022. But this case, I must say, since 2022, this case has been with the IPID. They are the investigators of the case. We have just met the family of van der Merwe, the wife and parents, to brief them on how far investigation are into this matter. We have confirmed to the family that we do not believe that we have confirmed to the family that we do believe that we have found one of the vehicles that were used during the shooting. Apparently there were 2 vehicles used, a sedan and a bakkie. So we found the bakkie vehicle. On the evening of the murder of the deceased, a video footage shows the white bakkie pulling up around here and did some observations, but there was also a darkish hatchback vehicle that was seen on the scene. For now we have found only one. We are still looking for the other vehicle. At this stage we do believe that the bakkie that was abandoned in Alexandra Township is the right one, which was doing some observation here, and as I said, we are looking for the other one. So according to our crime scene experts, they will do investigations on the vehicle, and we also have 3 persons of interest that we believe can assist us in resolving this case. We've taken 1 in for questioning, and we are closing in on the suspects. We think we will be able to update the nation as we go along. But for now, we are only doing questioning for one of the people. We will get to the others, and that's how far we went. in terms of people that we suspect are linked to the Marius van der Merwe case. We must also say that there was an attempted murder which we all aware of on Marius van der Merwe in September 2025, in which he indicated that there were two wild males that were following him with a bakkie. We are still looking for the murder weapon that was used for this current case now. Possible motives, we currently cannot indicate as to what is the motive. There are possibilities of every angle, so we do not want to, at this stage, speculate. We don't rule out what's happening at Madlanga, but also we don't say that might be solely the motive. There's quite a various other angles to the case that might be linked to the motive.
Van der Merwe's story began in the gritty world of security and law enforcement on the East Rand, where he built a reputation as a tough operator against illegal activities. As a former police reservist and owner of his own security company, he often found himself on the front lines, tackling issues that others avoided. His company, QRF Task Team, opened its doors in June 2023 and quickly got involved in protecting coal mines from large-scale theft of diesel and coal. This work placed him directly in conflict with groups involved in underground operations, particularly the Zama Zamas, who dug into old mine shafts, creating dangerous sinkholes and fueling a black market economy. Van der Merwe's efforts extended to areas like Plastic City, a sprawling informal settlement between Brakpan and Benoni that had become a hub for such activities. In October of this year, authorities razed Plastic City, leaving behind a wasteland of debris and displaced people. This cleanup disrupted lucrative operations, causing financial losses for many, including those who profited from the plastic recycling business intertwined with mining. Security sources in the area noted that Van der Merwe was a key figure in these efforts, working alongside others to drive out the Zama Zamas, which made him a target for those losing their income streams. His involvement went deeper, crossing into turf wars where groups armed with heavy weapons clashed over control. Reports indicate that Basotho factions were pitted against Zulu groups, all equipped with AK-47 rifles, in battles for dominance in these underground networks. Van der Merwe's actions in the West Rand had already forced him to relocate after numerous threats, and upon moving to the East Rand, the pursuit continued. Sources close to the situation revealed that the Zama Zamas had been actively searching for him, viewing him as a direct threat to their operations.
So Flom ran away from the West Rand, and then he started that same nonsense on the East Rand. So he worked with God Max. All the Zamas that side were looking for him. My second opinion is Plastic City. Zama Zamas opposite the rubbish dump. Take all the plastic stuff off, remove it to Plastic City. There was huge gunfights there. There was guys with AKs and stuff. And a lot of people were losing huge income under the recycling business and stuff. The gentlemen in question were using the Basutus to fight the local Zulu guys there, all armed with AK-47s, and there is a turf war.
Police later confirmed that the weapon used in his killing was an AK-47 caliber rifle, matching the type commonly associated with these groups. Additionally, investigators identified a white Nissan NP200 bakkie with a canopy as the vehicle used by the suspects, which fled into the night after the attack. While speculation swirls around motives tied to his anti-mining work, the timing points strongly to his recent testimony at the Madlanga Commission as a catalyst. The Madlanga Commission itself was established to probe deep-seated issues within the Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department and related sectors. Van der Merwe testified last month, hidden under the alias Witness D to protect his identity. During his off-site and off-camera session, he exposed troubling practices, including the involvement of high-ranking officials in covering up serious crimes. He detailed an incident from April 2022 where a Mozambican suspect was interrogated at an unofficial site in Brakpan. According to his account, a group of EMPD officers, along with private security personnel, used methods like tubing, forcing a tube over someone's head to restrict breathing, leading to the suspect's death. Van der Merwe claimed he was compelled by suspended EMPD Deputy Chief Julius Mkhwanazi to dispose of the body in Spaarwater Dam. This revelation implicated Julius Mkhwanazi as a central figure who allegedly provided access to police resources for criminal elements, including crime mastermind Vusimuzikat Masemola, who built an empire of influence through the department. Friends and colleagues described Van der Merwe as someone haunted by this event. EMPD Superintendent Jacques Vorster, who worked closely with him, shared that Van der Merwe had felt deep guilt over his forced participation. He had sleepless nights, regretting that he couldn't intervene to save the man's life, fearing he too would end up in the dam if he resisted. Vorster noted that shortly after the incident, Van der Merwe reported it to the Independent Police Investigative Directorate and other police channels, but little action followed. His decision to testify was driven by a desire to unburden himself and align with his strong sense of right and wrong, rooted in his religious beliefs. Even though he used a pseudonym, those involved could potentially recognize his voice or details, making anonymity fragile. Vorster recalled that Van der Merwe approached the commission with courage, knowing the risks, but believing it was his duty. In the weeks leading up to his death, Van der Merwe's fears escalated. 2 weeks before the fatal night, he survived an attempt where a vehicle tried to run him off the road. He shared these concerns with journalists, expressing that he knew his time was limited. In conversations, he indicated he was ready to reveal his identity publicly, stating he only had a few days left and wanted to share his full story. On his now-locked Facebook account, he posted messages reflecting on living on borrowed time, pondering how no one can escape their fate when it arrives. His mother-in-law, Leslie McLean, remembered him dismissing suggestions to increase his security, saying no measures could truly protect him. He felt he had accomplished his mission by testifying and was prepared for what might come, though his family struggled with the idea. The night of the attack, around 8:30 p.m. on December 5, Van der Merwe arrived home with his wife, Leanne, and their 2 young sons in the car. The family home on Gold Street, a short one-way road with a single streetlight, had basic protections like palisade fencing and barbed wire, but it offered little concealment. As they waited at the gate, the gunman struck, firing multiple times in full view of his loved ones. Neighbors described the area as generally safe, but this incident shattered that perception. In the aftermath, police tape marked a spot where a bullet had ricocheted off the gate, and 12 bunches of flowers were left as tributes outside. Leanne, a professional photographer, later shared her emotional video montage on TikTok, showing Van der Merwe with his family, expressing her deep love and the pain of carrying on without him. Security officials have outlined 2 primary motives for the killing: his testimony at the Madlanga Commission or his role in dismantling operations like those in Plastic City. The Commission's focus on corruption in the EMPD and private security sectors had already stirred unrest among implicated parties. Sources indicated that a network of corrupt law enforcement and private security figures, unhappy with Van der Merwe's revelations, viewed him as a star witness who could unravel their activities over the past 5 years. This old crew, as some called them, operated in a web of illegal mining and related crimes, and his testimony heightened their fears of exposure. President Cyril Ramaphosa responded quickly, expressing his dismay at the attack on someone who had served justice by testifying. He called for law enforcement to uncover the full circumstances and emphasized the need to protect those fighting corruption. The Commission's spokesperson, Jeremy Michaels, issued a statement noting the profound sadness over Van der Merwe's death and acknowledging his contributions to revealing criminality in the EMPD. In response, National Police Commissioner General Fannie Masemola activated the National Joint Operational and Intelligence Structure, known as NATJoints, the highest level of security coordination involving police, military, and intelligence officials. This group, which recently handled security for the G20 summit in Johannesburg, convened urgently to discuss enhancing protections for Commission officials and witnesses. Justice Minister Mamologo Kubai stated that Van der Merwe had been offered witness protection but declined, believing his own security company provided sufficient safety. However, his wife contradicted this, saying she was unaware of any such offer, raising doubts about the claim. This discrepancy has led to a review of witness protection protocols. Meanwhile, other witnesses to the commission are now re-evaluating their participation. Several have expressed intentions to withdraw, citing heightened risks after van der Merwe's murder. Some report receiving direct threats, with one describing a recent break-in at their home following tampering with their alarm system. Another mentioned being followed and has hired private security for their family. These individuals hold incriminating evidence but fear becoming the next targets. The broader context includes comparisons to other whistleblowers who met similar fates. For instance, Babita Deokaran was gunned down in 2021 after exposing corruption at Tembisa Hospital. Patricia Morgan Mashale, who has been in hiding since February 2022 after revealing corruption in the South African Police Service, highlighted the vulnerabilities. She pointed out that van der Merwe was killed in front of his family, making them potential witnesses whose safety is now a concern. Mashale criticized the system's failure to protect those who come forward, noting that often only low-level perpetrators are caught, while the masterminds remain untouched. Without witnesses, cases collapse, undermining efforts against corruption. Van der Merwe's friend, Jacques Vorster, broke down while speaking about the loss, describing him as a brother-like figure who was fearless and committed to community good. They had met through joint operations against Zama Zamas in Plastic City, working long hours to clear the area. Vorster recalled their last conversation days before the murder, planning another operation that will now never happen. He believed van der Merwe suspected his end was near, especially given the CCTV showing him conversing with his attackers before drawing his gun too late. Social media has buzzed with unverified accusations, with users pointing to suspended EMPD Deputy Chief Julius Mkhwanazi as potentially involved, based on van der Merwe's testimony about the body disposal. Attempts to contact Julius Mkhwanazi went unanswered, and authorities have urged against speculation. Nonetheless, the online discourse reflects public frustration with unchecked power in law enforcement. As the investigation unfolds, police have not ruled out links to van der Merwe's anti-Zama Zama operations, which disrupted profitable networks. In Plastic City, the destruction of the camp displaced residents who protested the move, though it was welcomed by local authorities in Ekurhuleni for reducing crime hotspots. Security experts speculate that syndicates from this area could have orchestrated the hit, seeking revenge for lost turf and income. The use of an AK-47 aligns with the weaponry in these mining conflicts, where armed groups fought over control of shafts and resources. Van der Merwe's background as a former Ekurhuleni Metro police officer added layers to his story. After leaving the force, he specialized in private security, focusing on high-risk areas like illegal mining. His company assisted various mines, tackling bulk theft that cost operators millions. This hands-on approach made him a known figure in security circles, often called Vlam for his fiery determination. Colleagues remembered him as someone without fear, always ready to confront wrongs, even at personal cost. The family's grief has been palpable. Leanne, sitting amid reminders of their life together, like a pair of his shoes on the couch, expressed the profound loss. Their home in Brenthurst, with its Christmas tree still standing, now symbolizes a shattered holiday season. Friends and neighbors gathered, leaving flowers at the gate, while the community mourned a man seen as a hero for his stand against corruption. Leanne's handwritten note to the media pleaded for privacy, underscoring the pain of losing a partner and father, and the nation's loss of a brave voice. The Madlanga Commission's work has been disrupted, with fears that more witnesses will pull out. Sources indicate that some have already faced intrusions, like home break-ins or surveillance, prompting them to seek private protection. Nat Joints's involvement signals the seriousness, drawing on top-tier resources to probe the murder and bolster security. This structure aims to enhance measures for all involved in the commission, ensuring that testimonies can proceed without fear. Comparisons to Patricia Morgan Mashale's experiences highlight systemic issues. Employed as an administration clerk in the SAPS since 2008, she exposed major corruption implicating senior management, leading to retaliation and her eventual dismissal in 2022. Even after leaving, threats persisted, with information from fearful officers funneled to her. In November 2022, direct threats emerged, reported to high offices like the president's, but without response. Threat assessments identified senior officials as plotters, forcing her into hiding. She plans to testify before a parliamentary committee on corruption and political interference, drawing from years of revelations. Van der Merwe's testimony detailed the 2022 incident thoroughly. The suspect, interrogated in Brakpan, succumbed to harsh methods, and Van der Merwe was tasked with the disposal under orders from Julius Mkhwanazi. Van der Merwe's decision to come forward, despite the dangers, stemmed from lingering remorse. Jacques Vorster emphasized that his friend wanted justice, believing the commission would finally act on what he had reported years earlier. The killing's execution, outside his home, in front of family, suggests a brazen message to others. CCTV not only shows the conversation but also Van der Merwe's futile reach for his firearm, indicating he sensed the betrayal too late. Police are pursuing the suspects, with the vehicle description aiding the manhunt. Yet, as Morgan Mashale noted, arrests often stop at hitmen, leaving kingpins free. In the East Rand's security landscape, Van der Merwe's relocation from the West Rand due to threats foreshadowed his fate. The Commission's future hangs in balance, with witnesses weighing risks. As details emerge, the story reveals a web of corruption, mining conflicts, and unprotected truth-tellers. Van der Merwe's final posts and conversations painted a man resigned yet resolute, knowing exposure came at a price. What do you think was the real reason behind witness D's murder? Was it due to his damning testimony at the Madlanga Commission, where he implicated Julius Mkhwanazi, or it was because of his active involvement in fighting Zama Zamas and threatening to expose corrupt officials who are benefiting from these Zama Zamas? Or it was both? Thanks for watching this news bulletin. Please share your opinion in the comments section. We would be glad to read and respond to your comments. Let's meet again tomorrow in our next strange story. Have a focused and efficient Tuesday.